Welcome to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. On this show, we use the Triggator triangle, budget, save, and pay off debt to help you build a spending plan that fits your life, grow your savings with purpose, and knock out debt with confidence. Today, we're talking about one of the most powerful levers in your financial journey, upgrading your income, but doing it with intention, not just hustle for hustle's sake. Let's be real. There's a lot of noise out there about side hustles, passive income, and chasing the next big thing. But here's the Triggator truth. More money only helps if you use it on purpose and with a little humor along the way. If you've ever picked up a side gig, worked overtime, or thought about going back to school to boost your paycheck, this episode is for you. We'll break down how to choose a side hustle that pads your peace of mind funds or accelerates your debt payoff without burning out or sacrificing what matters most. Investing in skills and education that actually move the needle on your long-term earning power. Spoiler, it's not just about degrees. And avoiding the trap of lifestyle inflation. So every extra dollar you earn builds your future, not just a bigger streaming bundle or a fancier car payment. Here's a stat to kick us off. According to a 2025 Pew Research Center study, nearly 40% of Americans have taken on a side hustle in the past year. But only 1 in 5 say that it actually improved their financial security. Why? Because without a plan, extra income can disappear as fast as it arrives. So whether you're hustling for holiday cash, thinking about a career upgrade, or just want to make sure your next raise actually builds your net worth, grab your notes and let's get intentional about your income. And because this is Triggator, you know we'll keep it real, keep it actionable, and keep it fun. As the great Ferris Bueller once said, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Let's make sure your money isn't just moving fast, it's moving forward. Let's get into it. Choosing a side hustle to pad peace of mind funds or eliminate debt. Let's start with a truth bomb. Side hustles are everywhere, from rideshare apps to freelance gigs, from late night pizza delivery to launching your own Etsy shop. The hustle economy is booming. According to a 2025 Bankrate survey, nearly 40% of US adults have a side hustle. But here's the kicker. Most aren't using that extra income to build real financial security. Instead, it often disappears into the same old spending patterns. Or worse, fuels lifestyle creep. So how do you make sure your side hustle actually moves the needle? You do it the Triggator way, by making every extra dollar work for your save and pay off debt sides of the triangle, not just padding your spending plan. The Triggator triangle and side hustles. Where does extra income belong? Let's get clear. Side hustles are not meant to fund your everyday lifestyle. If you need a side hustle to keep Netflix, Disney Plus, or your daily coffee run, it's time for a spending plan audit, not another gig. If your Uber earnings are just funding your DoorDash habit, congratulations, you've invented the perpetual motion machine of modern spending. The only time a side hustle should fund the budget side of your triangle is when it's absolutely necessary to cover your 4 walls. Remember, those are food, shelter, transportation, and utilities. If you're hustling just to keep the lights on, that's a sign your primary income or your spending plan needs a reset. But for most people, a side hustle is a tool for catching up or accelerating progress, not for maintaining a lifestyle that's already stretched. Here's how to use it with intention. The save side. Use your side hustle to build your emergency fund, catch up your fun fund for some special occasion, or if you're behind, give your alligator fund a one-time boost. Think Christmas is coming and you need to catch up. But remember, ongoing alligator savings should come from your main paycheck. Side hustles are for catching up, not for covering predictable recurring expenses. The payoff side. Here's where side hustles shine. Every dollar you throw at a debt is a dollar you reclaim from your future paychecks. The faster you pay off debt, the sooner you get to keep your whole paycheck. And that's a win worth hustling for. Time is your most valuable asset. Spend it wisely. Let's talk about the real cost of a side hustle, your time. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Every hour you spend hustling is an hour you're not spending with your family, friends, or on your own well-being. That's why your side hustle should be temporary, targeted, and as lucrative as possible for the time invested. Family is always a top priority. If your side hustle takes you away from this important cause, it needs to be worth it. It needs to have an end date. Don't let a temporary hustle become the cousin Eddie of your budget. Fun for a visit, but you don't want him moving in. Types of side hustles, pros, cons, and real life lessons. First, formal employment side hustles. These are your classic part-time jobs, serving tables, pizza delivery, medical billing, data entry, at-home call centers, anything with a set schedule and a W-2 at tax time. Pros, consistent work, reliable pay schedule, often easy to get started. Cons, less flexibility. Your boss sets the schedule. Pay can be variable, especially with tips, and you're responsible for showing up when you're scheduled. My take, of all the side hustles I've tried, serving tables was the best for hourly pay. I averaged $35 plus an hour. But here is the asterisk. It's all about performance. In states with a server wage as low as $2 an hour, your real income depends on tips. If you're attentive, accurate, and friendly, you can do very, very well. If not, you'll struggle. It's a great reminder that skills and attitude matter, even in side gigs. Second, gig and contract work. Think Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, Fiverr, Guru, and similar platforms. You set your own schedule, pick your gigs, and get paid per job. Pros, maximum flexibility, instant pay in most cases, and the ability to stack gigs. I used to log into Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash all at once, and then take the first ping. Cons, the easier the gig, the lower the pay. You cover your own expenses, gas, wear and tear, software subscriptions for freelancers, and income can be unpredictable. My favorite gig, driving for Amazon Flex. You know the pay before you start, you pick up the packages and deliver. No surprises, no late night party passengers, and no bad nights with low fares. For skilled contract work, freelance platforms like Fiverr let you use your talents, graphic design, writing, web development, to earn more per hour and do work that you enjoy. Third, side business. This is where you become the boss, launching an Etsy shop, selling printables, offering consulting, or starting a service business. Pros, unlimited potential, creative fulfillment, and the thrill of building something of your own. Cons, income isn't guaranteed. You're responsible for marketing and expenses, and it can be time consuming to get off the ground. My favorite, I'm actually going to use my wife's for this one because she is a graphic designer and she launched an Etsy business, selling everything from printable party kits to tote bags and t-shirts. It started as a side business and grew into an income stream. Proof that your skills and passions can pay off if you're willing to put in the work. How to choose the right side hustle for you. Not all side hustles are created equal. Here's how to pick one that fits your life and your goals. 1. Define your why. Are you hustling to build your emergency fund, pay off a specific debt, or save for a one-time expense? Get clear on your goal before you start. 2. Set a time limit. Decide how long you'll hustle. 3 months, 6 months until a debt is gone. Mark the end date on your calendar. 3. Calculate the real pay. Factor in expenses, taxes, and time. A $20 per hour gig that costs you $5 an hour in gas and takes you away from your family for 10 hours every week may not be worth it. 4. Protect your priorities. Don't sacrifice your health, relationships, or core values for extra cash. If a side hustle is causing you more stress than progress, it's time to reassess. Side hustles are like the great stars of your financial sitcom. Great for a few episodes, but don't let them take over the show. Remember in Rocky IV when Rocky trains in the snow, lifting logs and running through drifts? Rocky's hustle was focused, temporary, and has a clear goal: beat Drago. He's not training forever in those difficult circumstances. He is training for a purpose. That's how your side hustle should be: intense, intentional, and with a finish line in sight. A 2024 Lending Tree study found that consumers who use the side hustle income exclusively for debt reduced their balances 30% faster than those who use the extra income for general spending. The key: intentionality, assigning every dollar to a specific goal, not letting it drift into lifestyle upgrades. Side hustles can be a powerful tool for building financial security and accelerating your journey to debt freedom, but only if you use them with intention. Remember, don't use a side hustle to fund your lifestyle. Use it to build your peace of mind funds or pay off debt. Time is precious. Choose hustles that pay well for your effort and don't steal from your most important priorities. Set a goal, set a limit, and celebrate when you reach it. Then let your primary income and spending plan do the heavy lifting. Because at the end of the day, your side hustle isn't about working more. It's about building a life where you can work less, stress less, and enjoy more of what matters most. But what if you want your income upgrade to last longer than a Rocky training montage? Let's talk about the skills and education that turn a side hustle into a permanent paycheck boost. Investing in skills and education for future income. So you've turbo boosted your income with a side hustle. Now let's talk about upgrading your engine for the long haul. Why skills and education matter more than ever. Here's a stat that should grab your attention. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, this is from 2025, workers with a bachelor degree earn, on average, 67% more per week than those with only a high school diploma. Over a lifetime, that's a difference of more than $1 million. And it's not just about degrees. Specialized skills, certifications, and real-world experience can open doors to higher pay, better job security, and more flexibility. But let's get real. Not all education is created equal, and not every skill is worth the same in the marketplace. The key is to invest in skills and credentials that are actually marketable, the ones that employers, clients, and customers are willing to pay for. Don't judge a job by its starting pay, but don't settle for starting pay either. It's easy to look at an entry-level job and think, that's all I'll ever make. But the real question is, what can this job teach me? Where can it take me? Every job, no matter how humble, is a stepping stone if you approach it with a growth mindset. Let me tell you about the Denny's brothers, a story that has stuck with me for years. Two brothers started as bussers at their local Denny's, making minimum wage. It was $4.25 an hour at the time. They didn't complain about the pay. Instead, they learned the ropes, worked hard, and kept asking, what's next? They moved up to line cooks, then team leads, then assistant managers, then general managers. Eventually, they took advantage of a Denny's program to help employees become franchise owners. Fast forward, they owned dozens of franchises. And every week, my family member who worked at Denny's corporate accounting would deposit six-figure checks into their account. They went from minimum wage to millionaire status, not because they got lucky, but because they kept leveling up their skills and experience. How to gain skills, formally and informally. Let's start with formal education, degrees, certifications, and credentials. This one is obvious. A college degree can be a powerful ticket to higher earnings, but only if it's marketable. If you have some college but never finish, make it a priority to complete your degree, especially if you're close. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, workers with some college, no degree, earn about 15% less than those who finish their bachelor's. But don't stop at degrees. Certifications can be just as valuable, sometimes even more. Are you a project manager? Get your PMP. Software engineer? Learn AI prompt engineering or MCP server development. Nurse? Add a specialty certification. Even in trades, certifications can mean the difference between a $20 per hour job and a $40 per hour career. Informal learning, the secret weapon. Not all skills come from classrooms. Some of the most valuable abilities, like communication, leadership, and problem solving, are learned on the job through mentorship or by taking a stretch assignment. If you're a busser at a restaurant, learn how to communicate with customers, how to anticipate needs, how to work as a team. If you're in retail, master inventory, scheduling, or visual merchandising. Every job has a hidden skill that can make you more valuable. Here's a pro tip. Ask your manager, what would it take for me to move up? Then go and learn those skills on your own time if you have to. The internet is full of free or low-cost resources. YouTube, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, even TikTok. Just make sure you filter for quality. If you're learning new skills on TikTok, just make sure it's not how to make a $12 coffee at home, unless you're planning to sell it. Experience, the compound interest of your career. Experience is like compound interest. It builds slowly, then suddenly it's worth a lot. Don't be complacent. Every job has the opportunity to gain experience that sets you up for the next level. Volunteer for new projects. Ask for feedback. Take on responsibilities outside your comfort zone. The more you stretch, the more you grow. We've talked about the Karate Kid and when Daniel was frustrated before about the wax on, wax off chores. He doesn't see the point until those repetitive motions turn into real karate skills. That's how skill building works. Sometimes the things that feel tedious or unrelated are actually laying a foundation for your next big leap. Stick with it and trust the process. Don't fall for the degree equals destiny myth. A degree is a tool, not a guarantee. What matters most is how you use it. Employers want people who can solve problems, communicate, and adapt, not just those with fancy diplomas. Focus on building a mix of hard skills, those technical and job specific, and soft skills, leadership, teamwork, resilience. Investing in your skills, education, and experience is the most reliable way to upgrade your income for the long haul. Remember, don't judge a job by its starting pay. Judge it by what it can teach you. Finish what you start. If you're close to a degree or a certification, make it a priority to finish. Keep learning, formally and informally. Every new skill is a step in the ladder. Experience compounds. The more you stretch, the more you grow, and the more you'll earn. Stay curious, stay humble, and stay hungry. The world changes fast, but learners always have an edge. avoiding lifestyle inflation and staying true to your plan. Let's talk about the silent saboteur of every income upgrade, lifestyle inflation. It's sneaky, it's seductive, and it's the reason so many people feel broke no matter how much they earn. You get a raise, land a new job, or start making real money from your side hustle, and suddenly your needs expand to fill your new paycheck. The nicer car, the bigger house, the upgraded phone, the streaming bundle, the daily coffee run. It all feels justified because, hey, I can afford it now. But here's the truth. If every extra dollar you earn goes to a higher standard of living, you'll never get ahead. You'll just be running faster on the same hamster wheel with fancier scenery. The Triggator philosophy is clear. Income upgrades are a tool to buy back your freedom, not just your next upgrade. Why lifestyle inflation happens and how to spot it. Lifestyle inflation isn't about greed. It's about habits and expectations. When your income goes up, you naturally want to reward yourself. You've worked hard, you've sacrificed, and you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. There's nothing wrong with celebrating progress. The problem comes when celebration becomes the new normal. How it happens? You get a raise, so you upgrade your car payment. Your side hustle starts bringing in $500 a month, so you add a couple more streaming services and start eating out more. You finish your degree, land a better job, and suddenly your quote-unquote starter home feels too small. It's the classic I deserve it trap. And if you're not careful, your spending will always rise to meet your income, leaving you with the same stress, the same debt, and the same lack of progress. Lifestyle inflation is like that sneaky app subscription you forgot about, quietly draining your progress in the background. If your raise disappears faster than Stanley's pretzel on pretzel day, the Office fans, you know, it's time for an upgrade audit. Let's revisit the triangle. Remember, side hustles are for saving and paying off debt, not for padding your everyday spending. If you find yourself depending on your side hustle to cover groceries, utilities, and monthly bills, it's time for a spending plan reset. The goal is to make your primary income cover your four walls and all predictable expenses. Side hustles are a tool for catching up, not keeping up. Why? Because dependence on extra income is a trap. If your side hustle dries up, you're suddenly scrambling to cover the basics. That's not freedom, that's financial fragility. How to use income upgrades the Triggator way. First, celebrate, then assign. When you get a raise, bonus, or new income stream, celebrate. Go out to dinner, buy yourself something small, or take a moment to appreciate your progress. But then, before the new money becomes part of your routine, assign it with intention. Budget. Don't automatically increase your fixed expenses. Keep your spending plan values-based and focused on what matters most. Save. Boost your peace of mind funds, emergency, alligator, fun, and especially retirement. Pay off debt. Throw extra at your highest interest debt or your current snowball target. Second, avoid the now I can afford it payment trap. One of the biggest mistakes people make with new income is using it to justify new debt. Now I can afford the car payment, the bigger house, the new furniture on zero interest financing. But every new payment is a claim on your future paycheck. Instead of buying freedom, you're selling it. Make upgrades temporary, not permanent. If you want to enjoy a taste of your new income, do it as a one-time treat, not a permanent upgrade. Take a trip, buy a gadget, or splurge on a special experience. But don't lock yourself into a higher monthly expense that will outlast the excitement. Fourth, automate progress and retire your raise. The best way to avoid lifestyle inflation is to make progress automatic. Set up recurring transfers to your savings and debt payoff goals the moment the new income hits. If you never see the extra money in your checking account, you won't be tempted to spend it. For years, I would do what I call retire my raise. Instead of letting a raise disappear into lifestyle creep, I'd immediately increase my retirement contribution by the same amount. It's a pain-free way to pay your future self. No budgeting acrobatics, no tough choices. Just a simple automatic upgrade to your long-term security. The best part, I never missed the money because I never saw it hit my spending account. If you want to build wealth quietly and steadily, retire your raise every time you get one. Lifestyle inflation is the enemy of progress, but with intention, automation, and values-based plan, you can use every income upgrade to build freedom, not just fancier stuff. Because at the end of the day, the real upgrade isn't your stuff. It's your story. And every dollar you assign with intention is a step towards the life you actually want. Let's bring it all together. If you've made it this far, you're not just thinking about earning income. You're ready to lead your income with intention. Remember, your income upgrade is a tool, not a trophy. When you assign every dollar with purpose, whether it's hustled on the side or earned through years of growth, you're not just making more money. You're building a life where your money works for you, not the other way around. The Triggator Triangle is your guide. Budget with values, save for peace of mind, and pay off debt to reclaim your paycheck. Every intentional move is a brick in the foundation of your financial future. Today's challenge is simple, but can change your trajectory in just a few minutes. First, list every income upgrade you've had over the last 12 months. This is raises, bonuses, side hustle payouts, and even tax refunds. Second, for each one, write down where the money actually went. Did it build your savings? Did it pay off debt? Or did it just disappear into a new expense? Third, pick one thing that it did, big or small, and retire your raise. If you haven't already, set up an automatic transfer for that amount to your retirement, emergency fund, or debt payoff. Even $20 makes a difference. Fourth, a quick bonus. If you're planning a side hustle, set clear goals and an end date. Write it down and share it with someone you trust. By the end of this exercise, you'll have a clearer picture of your progress and a concrete step to make sure your income upgrades count. Did you catch some lifestyle creep? Did you retire your raise for the first time? I want to hear about it. Share your upgrade audit and email me at podcast@Triggator.com or DM me at Triggator on Instagram, Facebook, or X. Your story could inspire someone else to take action. If this episode helped you see your income in a new light, hit subscribe so you never miss a chance to build your plan with purpose. And if you're feeling generous, leave a review of your favorite aha moment on today's show. Know someone who's hustling hard but not seeing results? Share this episode with them. Sometimes a fresh perspective is the best upgrade of all. As always, follow us on social media at Triggator for motivation, laughs, and tips. And lastly, if you haven't visited Triggator.com and downloaded Cameron's ebook, do it today. Your spending plan will thank you. Coming up next time, ever wish you had a financial hype squad? In our next episode, The Financial Friendship Formula, we'll explore how building supportive relationships and having real money conversations with friends, family, and your community can help you stay motivated, accountable, and resilient without guilt or comparison. You'll learn how to start positive money talks, create encouragement and accountability for your goals, and navigate peer pressure while staying true to your values. If you've ever felt alone in your financial journey, this one's for you. Your income is a tool, not a finish line. Every dollar you assign with intention is a vote for your future self. So lead with clarity, upgrade with purpose, and remember, the best raise you'll ever get is the one you give yourself by building a plan that works for your real life. Thanks for listening to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. See you next time.